Back in 2010, we started our business. I was general manager at Colorad Signs, but we had a fire and we closed up. My son worked for me. So we were in unemployment for a few months, which I didn't like, so we decided to open up. And we just started from there, and people knew us, so we started without any advertising, and we haven't advertised since. And today we're where we are today. We have our own building now, 4 or 5 trucks, employees, lots of work, thank God, and that's where we stand today. So it's been a progression. The client will come to us, they might not have an idea what they want, so that's where we try to think outside the box in all phases, whether we're doing graphics or construction, try to make it a little different. So I kind of like these projects because it makes you think and it makes you have to figure out how to do it. After you design it, it's like, okay, how do I do it? Then you can give them a quote and move forward. This is a great business because it's always different. There's always something different. That's why I like the business, because you need to know welding, electrical, construction. And this one, I had to think how to make it where the face could be removable on such a big letter. So I kind of engineer as I go along, like I did for Delmonico's. He wanted that vertical signage, so I had to figure out how to do it. So I made steel brackets that I attached to the building. We threw bolted it, and then I had to make it where I could slide the sign in. It worked. Thank God, it's been up for, 6, 7, 8 years now. I can't remember, but yeah, it works. So I like the engineers that go along, and it works. We take pride in our work. If we make a mistake, we'll own it and we'll fix it. It does happen. I mean, we're only human. There's no surprises. The client always knows what they're going to get before we do the job, and whatever we tell them they're going to get it. And it's quality here. I always tell my people, whatever it takes, there's no rushing here. Whatever it takes to do it right, and that's how we work. And our work shows.
Here we are at Utica Graphics, a Utica-based company that's been here for decades. And if we go back in 2018 when we were looking at the DRI and we were looking to, again, continue the growth of our great city, we came up with a lot of different ideas and a lot of different thoughts. And one thing we thought was lacking is a trademark, something that people could identify with, feel proud about. And I think what you're going to see in the next several weeks is an outstanding sign that really represents the growth of our city. When you come off North Genesee Street, you're going to see a sign, multiple colors depending on what we're trying to accomplish. It could be for Christmas, it could be for Halloween. This Utica sign is going to symbolize we've come back full circle, and the Utica is the best little city in America. That caps it off.
This one here that we're working at, it was a bid job. The mayor called me and said that we're going to be doing it. So I said, okay. So we bid on it. We were a low bidder. We're moving right along on it, but it is time consuming. A lot of welding. It's all aluminum construction, but there is a lot of weight. There's a lot of materials here. So we're moving right along.
You have to be a little bit of everything when you are building signs. You have to have a little bit of basic knowledge for every trade. It takes a lot of patience and skill. Everything we do is from raw material, do everything, basically everything in-house. Everything's designed on the computer, sent to the router. When you can't use a machine to get the job done, you have to be able to do it, the old school way, which we still do. These are obviously gigantic. These were all hand cut, the backer panels and everything, and all the structure and frame were done on the miter saw. So we just kind of take our measurements and go from there. The mods that we're using for this particular job come on a roll of 40. Each power supply will take up to 80 mods with an amplifier. So all it is finding center, working your rows out, trying to keep them evenly spaced. It's kind of the same concept as neon, but with these, there's a little bit more play in the space. But for this particular job, we went a little overboard, put a little extra in there. So it's gonna be nice and bright as soon as the lights go down. Look forward to seeing it.
John hired me back at Colorad Signs 25 years ago, brought me into this industry. We worked together until, regrettably, the company burned and was pretty much the end of the company. John and his son started Utica Signs. I was off doing other things. That got me into doing transit buses, got me in the aviation industry for a while, but for a variety of reasons, it was a smarter move for me to come back into the sign world. So 9 years, this coming January, we put basically the band back together between the three of us, and we've been running full bore ever since then. Well, I'm the graphic production manager, so basically what happens with me, the days that I'm here in the graphics lab where if I'm not designing, I'm doing production, whether it's kiss cut vinyl, digital prints, I do all the setup files for those particular applications. If it's got to go to a CNC router, that could also mean I'm out working on a vehicle. I also go out in the field, so I'm out in the baskets doing ladder work like everybody else. About the only thing I don't get into around here, it's not a good fit. You don't want me doing the electrical hookups. That's not my strong suit.